Not going to be easy here. Backed up a long way to go for a first down. On third down, he drops to throw. Hit as he releases it, and the pass ball is incomplete.
The quarterback did all he could here to wait until the last possible moment, but he waits just a hair too long, which allows the defense to actually hit him as he throws the ball.
Fielding the punt, looking to improve field position here. And the coverage team able to bring the returner to the ground. Here comes the Maryland offense back on the field. This offense trying to bounce back the last possession and then in a pick. It's the wide receiver coming in motion now. A pop pass on the jet sweep. There's a loss after the completion. That's a good play by the defense.
Well, that's one of those plays that works better against certain defensive looks, but not every defense is the same. They were all over that one. Let's see if they continue to attack to the outside on the perimeter to set something up downfield.
Throws it to the right. Pass ball is incomplete. There was a lot of contact. No penalty. Brings up third down.
That's a misfire there, Chris. This passing game has got to be able to get into sync and find a rhythm.
Well, a serious challenge for this offense. You don't want to be in third and long inside your own 20. How much of a risk will they take to try to pick up this first down? Defense able to stop him. It's fourth down now. The Terrapins will line up to boot it away when he comes for his second punt of the game. And the coverage team able to bring him down. Okay, so the Hawkeyes offense is back out on the field. They came up empty on the last possession, forced to punt it away. And they begin to click now. And you'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Chris, textbook job by the defense surrounding the runner and preventing that play from being bounced to the outside.
Now it's second down here. He's brought down, but not before the gain to the 42-yard line.
It's not a huge gain here, but if you add up multiple runs like that throughout the course of a game, by the fourth quarter, you're going to start to see that affect the defense.
Offense looking to convert on third and short from the 42. Can they make the yardage or face a tricky fourth down? Oh, that one's picked off. They tackle him after a short return, but they get the football back and set up shop near midfield.
Boy, great hands by the defender to take that ball away and pretty much steal it from the intended receiver. I don't know if I'd be targeting that defender very many more times.
Looking to throw it on first down. It's a screen pass complete to the running back. And the tackle is made, not the big play they were looking for, but a pretty solid game. And the Terrapins looking to run some tempo here. Trying to flex the ground game here. Running back takes the handoff. Tough running there, breaks a tackle, picks up the first down.
You know, offensive linemen are just a certain breed. They're always going to do their job, no matter who's back there carrying the ball. I'll tell you what, they have a little bit more confidence when the person that's carrying the ball can break off some big-time runs. That makes them block just a little bit harder, knowing what he's potentially capable of.
Got him for a sack, a big play made by one of the senior leaders of this defense.
Well, the offensive line is so caught up in communicating to pick up the defensive lineman, nobody picks up the middle linebacker on the blitz. He gets the sack.
Quarterback wants to throw it on second down. And the ball is picked off. Can he take it all the way? Across the 40. At the 30 now. So a great return following the pick. They're finally able to get him down.
That's the end of the first quarter. And after one, we're tied 0-0.
So here we go, first play of the quarter. The offense has a first down. Makes a quick grab. He is a load to bring down. Finally, a strong tackle by the cornerback gets him.
Boy, that's pretty good coverage here by this defense. Not much of a window to throw this ball into, but the quarterback's accuracy and the size of the tight end picks up a nice gain.
They'll hand it off. The Hawkeyes are moving quickly down the field. The offense threatening now, first and goal.
First and goal. Iowa.
And now the running back's got it again. And he's tackled down at the 4-yard line. Defense getting pushed back.
Chris, down here inside the 10-yard line, these are tough yards to come by. Positive yards. Good push inside there by that offensive line.
Second down and goal. Takes the snap and takes off on the run. Breaking through defenders. And he runs it into the end zone. Touchdown, Hawkeyes. Well, they had a short field. The offense did exactly what they're supposed to do. That would have been a big ask for the defense there, Kurt.
Absolutely. But when you're given that kind of field position, anything less than a touchdown would be a disappointment. They did exactly what they needed to do by capitalizing on that short field.
Kickoff team is on the field. Let's see if they give the returner a chance to bring this one back. He's going to bring this out a few yards deep in the end zone. And he's brought down at the 16. Would have been better off leaving it in the end zone for a touchback. The Maryland offense is back out on the field now. The last possession ended in an interception. Let's see if they continue to trust this quarterback in the passing game. He's running out of time here. And he's brought down there. Defense reacts quickly. A very short gain on the play.
Boy, Chris, great timing here with the quarterback against that zone defense, waiting just at the right time to deliver it into that window to pick up a nice gain.
The pass rush closing in. Gets the ball off as he's hit, but it's incomplete. The Terrapins looking to crank up the tempo a bit. Dropping back, looking to throw for the first down. Looks to the left, pass caught. Tackled at the 32, that's enough for a first down.
And you just continue to see the chemistry between these two. And they told us yesterday in our production meeting, they spent hours and hours of working and developing that chemistry and that rhythm by throwing together throughout those summer months. And man, it's starting to really pay off. He's become his security blanket for the quarterback, and especially on third down, get him the ball.
Offense getting set. Second down play here. Quarterback pre-snap adjustments now for this defense. They look to throw it here on second down. And the pass is dropped incomplete. Would have had a huge gain. Took his eye off the ball. They come to the line, a long way to go for the first down, but needing this crucial conversion right now. Drops back, needing a third down completion here. Doesn't hold on. Good hit by the DB. Now it brings up fourth down.
Well, Chris, obviously they had to go through the air there to try to pick up this third down and long, but when you're so far behind the chains, boy, you really allow this defense to dictate things, and it allows them to put pressure on your quarterback and can affect the timing, as we saw in this play.
And the returner is brought down.
Down at the 33. And the Iowa offense will take over. First and 10.
And the Iowa offense is back out on the field. They punched it in the last possession. Can they do it again, or will this defense make some adjustments to get a stop? The gain is 3 yards, brings up a second down and 7.
Boy, I'm a big fan of that jet sweep motion like that. It really forces the defense to stretch them out horizontally and can create some vertical seams for this offense. They got some positive yards, didn't quite get the first down, but I'll tell you what they've done. planted a seed on this defense, and they better defend this style of play moving forward.
It's incomplete. He was hit as he threw that time, and now third down coming up.
Well, it's pretty simple. The defensive line does a great job of getting after the quarterback and forcing him into that incompletion.
Drops back, looking to throw for it on third down. Trying to create outside the pocket now. Catch made on the right side. That's a big gain. Out of bounds, but not before a huge gain. Offense gets a fresh set of downs.
Boy, nice job here by this offense, creating an opportunity for this receiver to excel after the catch. It's early in this game, so this defense better get their arms around this receiver because he could be a monster today.
And looking to throw now on first down. Receiver looks it in. It's complete. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Iowa. And they get set now to try the PAT. The extra point is good, and they stretch the lead a little bit more. Here's the kickoff team. Let's see if they give the returner an opportunity to bring this back.
Maryland, 0.
He's going to try for a return from a couple of yards deep in the end zone. He'll be tackled at the 18. That's good coverage there. Here comes the Maryland offense back on the field. They were forced to punt it away last time, so let's see if they can get clicking in this possession. Quarterback making adjustments now to what the defense is showing. Checks this down to the running back. Tackle made on the play at the 29-yard line. And the Terrapins will come to the line to crank up the tempo.
That's a big first down for this offense, and it's not been a great day so far, but maybe this play can get them going. And keep this in mind, Chris, because they started the game with the possession, they will not get to start the second half on offense, so they need points right here.
First down, looking to throw the football. He pulls it in for a big gain. They tackle him, but the gain moves the ball to the 36. The offense finally producing here. Sets up a 1st and 10.
Chris, it just feels like the offense is almost teasing the defense with this play. As an offensive coordinator quarterback, you're often looking for that soft spot in the zone. And here, they do a nice job of finding that hole for a nice gain.
Here we go, 1st and goal. A touchdown here gets them right back into this game. The Terrapins looking to cap the drive here. It's 1st and goal. Looking to chuck it again. Launching one to the end zone. And it's incomplete, very near the goal line. 2nd down and goal upcoming. Here's the snap. Quarterback drops back. And he throws his 3rd interception of the day. Not much on the return, but the defense comes up with a takeaway.
Boy, this defense is doing an outstanding job of baiting this quarterback into throwing the ball into coverage. That's their 3rd interception now in the game.
They'll run it to the left. In the clear at the 25. Tackle right at the 30. Good enough to move the sticks. You set it down to the offense. 1st and 10. Off the play fake, looking to throw. Caught in the flat by the running back. Tackled quickly after the catch. He'll be short of the marker.
Chris, I love the versatility of this running back. We're seeing what he can do on full display on this drive. He's been running the football very well. This time, they get him the ball out of the backfield, catching it, and he gets another positive gain.
Pass caught. 2nd down now. Pressure is coming. Contact as he let the ball go. It's incomplete. That was caused by the defensive pressure. And now it brings up 3rd down. See if the offense can move the chains off that incompletion. Quarterback in the shotgun here on 3rd down. He'll take a deep shot here. Catch made all the way down inside the 35. Finally get him way down at the 2. Nice pitch and catch.
Boy, huge play by this offense. A good throw, nice accurate throw. But I think it's the run after the catch that really impresses me. And early in this game, you got to think they're going to continue to go back to him until this defense shows that they can slow him down.
And the Hawkeyes looking to crank up the tempo a bit. On 2nd and goal, they hand it to him again. Touchdown, Hawkeyes. This offense is still clicking. But they'll try to add to the lead now with the PAT. And it's no good. He missed the extra point. So the offense getting some momentum before halftime of the touchdown. Now they kick off in hopes the defense can get a quick stop. He's going to bring it out of the end zone from a couple yards deep. And he's brought down at the 16. Would have been better off leaving it in the end zone for a touchback. The Maryland offense is back out on the field now. Timeout is called to talk strategy late in this close game with halftime approaching. Backed up this close to their end zone in the final minute. Let's see if they just decide to take care of the football and look toward the second half. Tries the right with a quick throw. He's got it for a big gain. The offense will now quickly spend a timeout.
And here the tight end shows off his hands for a nice gain. Love to see the big man get his touches.
How aggressive do you get on 1st and 10? They'll change the pre-snap look now. On 1st and 10, looking to throw. And he's going to stretch the defense, taking a deep shot here. Another interception. That's number 4 today. Are you kidding me? Big takeaway. Now looking for a big return. And that's a solid return after the interception.
Chris, that's back-to-back drives now that this offense has thrown interceptions. They've got to be able to regroup on the sideline, adjust their schemes, maybe their personnel groupings and formations, try to find a new way to attack because right now, this isn't working.
Oh, he tosses it back. Going for a big play downfield. Pass caught out of the 20. No stopping him. Takes it all the way. Touchdown, Iowa. And they'll set up with a PAT. And the kick is up and good. They tack on a point to their lead.
That makes the score.
So after the touchdown, here's the kickoff, and we'll see if the opposing offense has time to answer before halftime. And here's the fair catch by the return man. They start the drive looking for some late fireworks here. Less than 30 seconds before halftime. On 1st and 10 here, looking to throw the ball. He'll pick up 1st down yardage very near the 40. The offense comes back out there. Not much time left. Perhaps just time for a couple plays before the half. Just gets it away. It's a deep ball. And that's interception number 5. When will this QB get the hook? And he'll be taken down, but after a good return.
Not a real good throw here. He put too much air under the ball, turned into a floater. Now defensively, this is a dream. All you're thinking in that situation is just don't drop it. It's almost like a fair catch on a punt.
Oh, and he's got it down inside the 20. All the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Hawkeyes.
That's playing to the echo of the whistle here in this first half. They just keep pouring it on. Why not just continue to be aggressive? It's worked out so far for them. What a big lead they've worked up now here in this first half.
And they'll set up now for the extra point try. And the PAT is good as they continue to pull away even more. And that will do it for the first half here. Kevin Connors now has our halftime update. Formation would indicate they're going to try the onside kick here. receiving team has recovered. Looks like the hands team did its job. They make the tackle there, but a penalty marker is on the field. Let's see what that's about. And the head coach will decide to accept the penalty and take the yardage. This line getting set up. It's a first down play. Shotgun formation. Here's an inside handoff. They stop him at the 23. This offense is getting close to the red zone. The Hawkeyes will crank up the tempo. Offense moving receivers around now before the snap. Here comes a first down pass attempt. Fires it to the wideout. Pass caught. Can he get in? Tackle made at the 1-yard line, but it'll be first and goal.
We saw this receiver in the first half have a number of inward breaking routes, and now in the second half, we're seeing more stuff going to the outside. Good adjustment by this offensive coordinator.
First and goal, they'll try to run it in. They try the middle, but gain nothing on that play. Second and goal for the offense. On the ground, trying to power toward the goal line. Touchdown, Iowa. And this one is getting ugly. Lining up to try the extra point. The extra point is good. They stretch the lead a little bit more. Now they get set to kick it away.
41, Maryland, 0.
He'll bring it out from his end zone. Solid coverage there. They get him at the 15. That's where the offense will take over. Here comes the Maryland offense back on the field. This drive is important. Last one ended in an interception. Let's see if they can get it going here. It's a 1-yard gain. 2nd and 9 coming up.
You know, in the RPO game, the quarterback's got to make really sound decisions on that read. Either give it when it's the right time, or you... Here, I think he's kind of in that gray area, decides to hand it off, and at least picked up some positive yards.
Now, with the play fake, he'll look to throw it. Contact as he threw it. Goes to his right side there for the completion. Heads out of bounds after a solid gain, more than enough to pick up a first down.
This is what you love to see, right? Quarterback does a nice job of looking and finding his open receiver, and he waits to the last possible second. In fact, Chris, he gets hit as he gets that ball out of his hands. So good job of showing some strength.
Here's another interception. We're losing track. Follows the pick with a nice return before finally being brought down.
Boy, would this quarterback love to have this one back. They're trying. Themselves back into this game here in the second half, and the defense comes up with a big turnover that could be the nail in the coffin.
And the Hawkeyes offense is back out on the field. They've really built momentum in this game. They've been hard to stop. Can the defense make some adjustments, come up with a stop here? He's going to be brought down by that ferocious pass rush. Nice sack.
A really good job by this defense. The quarterback looked to be trying to work through his progressions to find his open receiver, but before he knew it, he's on his back.
Play action fake, looking to throw. Defense is coming after him. It's incomplete. He took a hit as he threw the football, and it brings up a third down.
Well, this quarterback's having one of those games you just dream about. A lot of yards and a lot of touchdown passes. And in fact, he had open receivers again for another big play. The defense finally got pressure on him, or I think it would have been potentially another touchdown.
Close to the tight end. And it's complete downfield. He stopped short of the marker, so it's 4th down now.
Chris, the defense catches a break here. I thought they were going to pick up the first down. They're going to be short of it, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them go for it.
And the Hawkeyes will come to the line on 4th down, looking to keep the drive going. 4th down. He's throwing for it. He's got it, and that is enough for a first down. Touchdown, Hawkeyes. Stretching the lead. This one is getting ugly. How important was that touchdown, Kirk? It's now a two-possession game here in the second half.
It's a great job of this offense with their execution and having situational awareness here in the second half. They now have, as you said, Chris, this two-possession lead. They got a great chance to finish it off and get a win.
Now the kickoff team is out on the field. And the return starts just inside the end zone. Tackled at the 13. Not great field position to start the drive. Maryland offense is back out on the field now. The last possession ended in an interception. Let's see if they continue to trust this quarterback in the passing game. And it's incomplete. He doesn't connect on his first throw.
Well, these guys just continue to struggle throwing the football. You know, whether it's been running the wrong route, the quarterback not being accurate, the offensive line not doing their job. It's been a collective effort, and it's a big reason why they're trailing now in this game.
They'll tackle him about the 23-yard line. And the Terrapins come up to the line to crank the tempo up here. They bring him down, but that's a solid gain on the play. The running play gives the offense a fresh set of downs.
You know, even though that these guys are facing a deficit, they're not just going all through the air. Love the fact that you're running the football, keeping this defense honest, not panicking by just throwing every single down. Now you got a new set of downs and a chance to keep moving the ball down the field.
Offense getting set. It's second down.
Get set, get set.
Moving the receiver around pre-snap. Quick pass. Here comes a jet sweep. Great move in the open field. He's brought down, but not before getting into enemy territory at the plus 47. This offense has been struggling. Still scoreless, but on the move now with a 1st and 10. They snap it. Quarterback looking to throw the ball. Downfield shot falls incomplete. Couldn't quite connect there.
Well, they don't make the completion here. The timing seemed to be off between a quarterback and receiver. But, man, this defensive coordinator, he may want to consider getting more pressure on this quarterback by changing.
Oh, a sack. The senior on this defense making a big play.
And just like that, you squeeze the life out of this offense. That's another sack by this defense. They have been in that backfield the entire game, and a big reason why these guys are enjoying a lead.
Quick throw, testing the middle. And the pass is intercepted. A takeaway for the defense. And he's wrapped up after a solid return.
It's 3rd and long, so as an offensive coordinator, you can either play it conservative or trust your quarterback and take a shot downfield. They elect the latter, and it ends up backfiring on them.
On 1st and 10, they'll look to throw it. Looking to make a play deep downfield. And the pass caught inside the 15.
Gain of 38.
The Hawkeyes are in the red zone now.
Moves.
Quick throw, the catch is made. Defense makes the stop after the completion.
Just a good job of spreading the wealth, making sure everybody's getting their touches. When you do that, the defense can't lock in on one guy or two guys. Make them have to be aware of everybody, and allows you to continue to spread the ball around and spread the field, making it tougher for this defense.
And the runner brought down after just a short gain.
Brought down at the 8-yard line.
Offense facing a 3rd down now. They can still get a 1st down without scoring.
Cricket. Belly stunner.
And the wideout goes in motion. There's the snap. Quarterback setting up to throw. Catch made on the left side. The gain is not enough for 1st down, so it brings up a 4th and short.
Well, anytime an offensive coordinator calls a wide receiver screen, he's trying to get offensive linemen out in front of the receiver to create a wall so that receiver can pick a lane to run through. How about the defense here, though? That's called team pursuit and swarming to the football. They didn't give him any lanes, so not much yards downfield for the receiver.
The offense already has one fourth-down conversion. Can they do it for a second time? The DB's right near the line now, showing press coverage. It's an option look. Pitch play to the back. And he's not going to get there. The defense rises up and makes a huge fourth-down stop.
How about the offense being aggressive? They decide to go for it here, and I got to give all the credit to this defense. Being aware, anticipating the call, knowing exactly where they needed to make the stop, and they did it.
First play of the drive, they'll come out throwing. He bought some time, now lets it go. He shreds the tackle. Really solid first down gain. He's just short of the marker, so maybe a chance here to take a downfield shot. Quarterback changing the play now at the line. Looking to pass here on second down. And is intercepted. Not much of a return, but the pick ends a scoring threat and sets the offense up at the 33.
Chris, I think I could hear him calling out blocks after that pick, or was it the defensive coordinator next door up here in the booth? Either way, they were looking to score after coming up with that interception. The offense, if they did anything right, it was keeping him out of the end zone.
They'll run it from the gun. Fights off a defender. The tackle is made, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see what that's about. Holding penalties can be the ultimate drive killer. We'll see if it stalls this one. Fresh set of downs for the offense. First down. Snags a quick throw. Great defensive play, tackled quickly. Not much of a gain.
How about this defense? That is called team pursuit. Swarming to this wide receiver on the screen, not allowing him to get his momentum upfield.
Off the play fake, looking to throw the football. And they hit him just as he releases the ball. It's incomplete.
Good adjustment here by the defensive coordinator. Let's face it, it's been a tough game so far for this defense. They've given up a ton of yards and touchdowns through the air. This time they figured out a way to affect his timing, and they get the pressure to hit him before he can make another play.
Quick throw to the left. Caught near the goal line. Touchdown, Iowa. To stretch the lead, the route is on. Well, they began with great field position, and that didn't take long at all, Kirk.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an opportunity. Your defense sets you up in great field position. You're not looking for a field goal. You're looking for a touchdown. Give the credit to this offense for being aggressive and punching it in.
Good job dealing with the footing. PAT is good. Getting set to kick the ball off now.
Number 10, set to kick this one away.
Returner looking to create better field position. Coverage team brings down the returner. Here comes the Maryland offense back on the field. This drive is important. Last one ended in an interception. Let's see if they can get it going here. First play of the drive, they look to the right.
Well, the receiver does all the work here. Man, that is easy living for this quarterback. Really good footwork by the receiver, gets the separation, and at that point, it's just pitch and catch for the quarterback.
What's the play call here on second down for this offense? Shotgun formation, here's an inside give. They've got him at the 48, but that's a first down.
You know, a lot of people feel running backs with elite speed shy away from contact, but that wasn't the case there. Instead of running around the defender, this back elected to run right through him.
Defense stops him short of the first down marker, and that'll do it for the third quarter of play.
That's the end of the third quarter. With the score, Iowa 55, Maryland 0.
Okay, ready?
Offense getting set for a second down here to begin the quarter.
Cobra.
From the shotgun, drops back looking for an open man. Makes a quick catch. They make the tackle, but that's a solid gain. Moves the ball to the 34. The Terrapins will hustle to the line here to run the hurry up.
Finally, good for them. They come up with a big play like this. Let's face it, offense has been at a premium for these guys. You wonder where plays like this have been all game long.
They bring him down, but the junior quarterback showing off that he can. And the Terrapins line up on 1st and 10 now. Quarterback appears to be changing the play. From inside the red zone, they're looking to throw. Makes the catch downfield. You stop him quickly, but not before a gain down to 6. It's 1st and goal.
Razor.
And the quarterback drops back, looking for an open man. He's got it near the end zone. And he's in. Touchdown, Terrapins.
You know the most impressive thing to me, Chris, I mean, they're not going to win this football game. I love that they're still fighting. I think that tells you a lot about this team, the character, the culture, the way they're coached. It's not their day, but I'm just impressed that they're still battling out there.
Automatic on the PAT. Kickoff team on the field getting set now. And the returner elects to fair catch it. No return. Okay, so the Hawkeyes offense is back out on the field. Hand off to the single back. Only a small gain. Now looking at 2nd and 9.
With the defensive coordinator this week, all week telling us about gap integrity, not giving this running back any creases at all. Really sound defense on that play.
2nd down after that run on the previous play.
Spider. 4-2 Spider.
And he drops back in the gun. Lets it fly out of the wideout. It's caught downfield. Worked out of bounds, but it's another big gain. This offense producing chunk plays through the air.
Chris, how about this approach by this offensive play caller? Up big, 4th quarter, and they're still taking shots downfield looking for more points. I think they're trying to rub it in here a little bit.
The offense operating at peak efficiency. They come to the line again.
Black 24. Black 24. Arrow. Timber.
1st down, looking to throw the ball. He'll take a deep shot. Defense breaks it up. Nice play. Incomplete.
Well, Chris, the offense takes a shot downfield, and this defender does a great job of making a play on the ball. Not only that, he tips that ball up into the air. Good chance for the defense to come up with an interception there.
Let's go. 691 Gators Farm.
Here's the handoff. 7-yard gain sets up a 3rd and 3.
Man, you know, the back gets a lot of the attention here, and he's a good back. I love to see that offensive line win the battle at the line of scrimmage.
Solid gain on the running play. 3rd down now.
Green 25. Gaucho.
And they're moving the receiver now before the snap.
Dino.
Going to pick up the 3rd and short through the air. He's looking deep here. And this is dropped. Would have been a huge gain, but he could not collect it. And the Hawkeyes will have to kick it away.
Boy, Chris, what a hit there on that 3rd down play by the defensive back. If he doesn't make that play, that's probably a 1st down, and they move the sticks. Instead, we've now got 4th down.
Maryland offense is back out on the field now. Receivers now getting some new assignments before the snap. Looking to throw it on 1st down. Hit as he releases it, and the pass ball is incomplete. The Terrapins come to the line in the hurry up. And he's back to throw again after that incompletion on 1st down. It's incomplete. He was hit as he threw that time. And now 3rd down coming up.
Ready,
Not going to be easy here. Backed up a long way to go for a first down. And he'll drop back here on third down. And it's incomplete again. Fourth down coming up.
Well, that's not what you want to see as an offense when you're trailing late in a football game. An incompletion on third down and long. It's a bit of a risk. With that clock looking the way it looks right now, I think you got to go for it here and hope to convert on fourth and long.
Trying to return the punt for some extra yardage. And he's going to head out of bounds, but not before picking up some good yardage on the return. And the Iowa offense is back out on the field. Forced to punt last time, trying to add points, build the lead right here. Off the play fake, looking to throw on first down. And a short pitch and catch to the tight end. And he heads out of bounds after gaining a few yards.
This is why running the football is so important. You run the ball and then you go play action. It affects the eyes of the safeties and the linebackers and frees up some space for the tight end to be able to pick up a nice gain.
That completion makes it second and short. Use the running game to chew on this clock now. They bring him down just short of the marker, inches away from a first down. Running play called on third and short. And he picks up the first down, tackled at the 32.
How impressive these guys been up front today. Big third down, know what you need to do, get the first down, continue to hold on to that lead, continue to work clock, and get that much closer to securing a victory.
Running out of time in the pocket. It's incomplete. He was hit as he threw. Good pass rush there on first down. Offense lines up for a second down play off the incompletion.
Easy.
Quarterback sets up, looking for an open man. Receiver makes the grab. And a big gain before he goes out of bounds. The offense keeps churning, gets a fresh set of downs.
Chris, a lot of these NFL scouts think that his speed is unique. I think it's the route running and the instincts to read coverage that really separates him. He has put on a show today.
The Hawkeyes pick up first down yardage to keep the drive going. Pre-snap motion from the receiver. Off the play fake on first down. Throwing for his running back. It's a quick grab. Touchdown, Hawkeyes. And the route is on.
Chris, you talk about having a day. This offense just goes out. They're not even looking at the scoreboard. They're just going out, executing the play call, and continuing to put points on the board.
Point after, knocked right through. The kickoff team on the field now as they get set to send this one away. Fields it inside the 5-yard line. And the returner will be brought down. Here comes the Maryland offense back on the field. They were held to a quick 3-and-out last time, looking to put together a positive drive here. First play of the drive, looking to throw the football. Trying to extend the play. And it's incomplete. Even in a first down throw, he was under some heavy pressure.
Well, sometimes an answer for an offensive coordinator against a good pass rush is to move the launching point. Move the quarterback from one spot to another to affect the rhythm of the pass rush. That's not having any kind of impact at all on this defense. They're getting at...
The QB throws his third pick of the day. And that's a solid return after the interception.
Well, that interception really about cost him the game here. And I understand. You got to do everything you can to get back in it, down by a couple scores. But the interception, for the most part, seals the deal for the defense.
The offensive coordinator begins this drive with excellent field position.
Locker. Spider. Terrier.
And looking to throw now on first down. Touchdown, Iowa. And the beatdown continues.
Touchdown, Iowa. Number 3, Halton in the end zone.
So they'll try to add to the lead now with the PAT.
For the extra point.
PAT is good as they build on this big lead.
That makes the score Iowa 69, Maryland 7.
Kickoff team is on the field to boot this one away.
To advance on the football.
And the kickoff will bounce right through the end zone for a touchback. The Maryland offense is back out on the field now. The last possession ended in an interception. Let's see if they continue to trust this quarterback in the passing game. Caught quickly. That's a big gain before he goes out of bounds. It'll move the sticks. More than enough for a first down.
You know, we talked this week with the offensive coordinator about what makes this receiver so special. He kept referring to his route running. Here's an example of that. Great route, enough separation to give the quarterback a nice lane to throw the football.
First down, looking to throw the football. Finds an open target on the left side. And they wrap him up, but the gain is good enough for a first down. And the Terrapins will hustle to the line to run the hurry-up offense.
That's a much better job by this quarterback of working through his progressions. We've seen him earlier try to force some throws, trying to make a big play. This time, works through his progressions, checks it down in the flat, and picks up some positive yards.
That's the 2-minute warning here. This offense desperate to cut into this lead and then try to get the football back. The Terrapins will have 1st and 10 here.
Here we go.
Looking to throw yet again. And he'll just lob this pass into the middle of the field. Wow, that is interception number 4. They create the turnover.
First and 10.
And the Hawkeyes offense is back out on the field. They've got a big cushion here in the latter stages. Great feeling to be up big on the road. Bringing pressure. That's incomplete. Even on a first down pass attempt, he felt heavy pressure.
Second down.
So after the incompletion, it's 2nd down.
In blue. In blue.
And the quarterback dropping back. The pocket breaking down.
I personally love the aggressive approach here by this offensive coordinator. You got to take some chances. You got to create some matchups. But if you don't protect the quarterback, you have no chance.
So a tricky situation here. 3rd and very long inside your own 20. How much of a risk do you take? You know this defense could be very aggressive at this moment. And the pass is dropped. Would have been a big game, but he couldn't hold on.
Hey, I understand the aggressive approach here on 3rd down and long, trying to pick up the first down, but look at the scoreboard. You've got the lead in the 4th quarter. A smart play would have been to keep running the football, work the clock, force them to use their timeouts. Now at 4th down and long with the lead, tough decision here. I think you got to punt it away.
Here comes the Maryland offense back on the field. This has been a long afternoon for this offense. All that's left, got to get some consolation points here. Trying to create here on the move. And that is interception number 5 as the nightmare performance continues. Not just the pick, but a big return sets up the offense in good position.
I just don't think there's anything else you can do as a play caller. You've got to be able to throw the ball downfield. You just got to hope that your quarterback and receivers can execute when the defense knows it's coming. Here, the interception cost them.
Let's.
They're going to run it here. They get him down, but not before he gets to the plus 38.
You know, I'd say this run is pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, the guys up front have controlled the line of scrimmage. They've given the quarterback time to throw. They've been able to run, really, whatever they've wanted to. That's why the points are going up on the board. Right now, the psyche of this offense is We're in control, and we can do whatever we want whenever we feel like doing it.
And that's a first down for the offense.
On the set.
That's solid run, good for first down yardage.
Set.
It's press coverage now from these DBs. They're going to run it. And they tackle him, but a nice pickup on that running play.
With the carry. Brought down at the 20-yard line.
Well, this one ended up being a blowout. But they get the W, but they also make a pretty strong statement here today.
Yeah, I thought this game would be a lot closer, at least closer than how things ended up. But give credit to this team for coming out with a good game plan and just dominating the game.
And that is going to wrap it up. We enjoyed this one here. For Kirk Herbstreit, I'm Chris Fowler, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.